Okay. Okay, greetings. This is Bobby Z going live from an undisclosed location somewhere in Wiltshire. Although if anyone really wants my location, by all means just ask. I'm gonna hope everyone's doing well this evening. I'm gonna put the timer on. 5 minutes. I will be playing us in with a video from another wonderful YouTuber. There are many out there, so I'm always happy to suggest a couple. Okay, we'll play in with his video. It goes on about 4 minutes or so. So once the timer runs out, it'll pretty much be time to go. Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Right, enjoy the video. Apologies, I don't seem to be getting any sound out of this video. Bear with me one sec. Right, sorry, I just work out why that isn't. Got it, I believe. Hang on. Do we? Where are we? Play in. Okay. Apologies, I don't seem to be getting any sound out of this. Oh. Right. Now we're going to have sound. I'm going to start this video back again from the beginning. Not sure if anyone's tuned in with us tonight yet, so perhaps you'll forgive me. Okay, once again, we're going to try and watch the video by Level Earth Observer, and I will put the link right now into the live chat. Yeah, without further ado, link to, if I say LEO, that's Leo, LEO, Level Earth Observer. Okay, right, here we go with the video, and I'll be back a little bit after the clock runs down now, unfortunately, but I'll see you soon. Right, let's just see. Okay, here we go.
In today's clip from the ISS Pantomime, we've got an uncomfortable harness, and then we've got the incredible see-through head man. Absolute legend. But first, let's pay attention to our mate front left here. It's a bizarre scene anyway, but let's just pay attention to our mate front left. As it would seem, he's not very comfortable in his harness here. He's having to adjust it a little bit and try and get a little bit more comfortable. So let's have a look. Just pay attention to matey front left.
Houston, we are ready for the event. Houston, Huntsville, Moscow, Tsukuba, and Munich.
Now either he's got a touch of the itchies and scratchies, or he's a little bit uncomfortable in his harness. Let's come back once more.
Houston, we are ready for the event. Houston, Huntsville, Moscow, Tsukuba, and Munich.
You get that harness nice and comfortable, me old mate. It can't be comfortable hanging there looking like that from a harness. Yeah, can't be much fun pretending to be in a weightless environment. And of course, if you are on a harness there, The interaction behind you, i.e. where the wires will be, might be a bit sketchy. So shall we zoom in there on our mate behind you on the left? Well, on the right at the moment, but he's going to appear on the left, and he's going to be turned into an absolute legend as his head becomes see-through. Who would have thought? Behind a man that looks like he's hanging from a harness. Strange stuff. Bear with me. Now we zoom in with these two space legends and get all up close and personal. All we're really interested in is Matey Boy in the background when he goes behind our uncomfortable harness loving friend here, and we see him on the left side, of course, where the wires would be. And the interaction there is terrible, as where they've obviously faded out the harness wires and Matey Boy's put his head there hasn't really worked out too well. And as a result, our friend's head becomes see-through. You've got to love some of these Astro Dames. So let's have a look. It's in slow motion. We got the star just to the right there. We've seen him before. An absolute legend as far as breaking down and highlighting the absurdity of all of this. Now here he comes. Peekaboo style, coming behind his mate's head. Get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the see-through head man. You can see the wiring behind him that leads up to his eye. You can see the background of the ISS. Part of his face is see-through. Very strange stuff. It's as if our mate, the see-through head man, has got in the way of NASA fading out the harness of our mate up the front, who's got a touch of the itchies and scratchies as he tries to get his nice harness all comfortable. But what a terrible day at the pantomime stage for this lot here, as we've got Matey Boy at the front, itching and scratching his way around his harness, and Dopey at the back, going into places he shouldn't really have gone. And as a result, his head became see-through. You gotta love these boys. The legend that is see-through head man, exposing the harness, peekaboo style, has come back, and see him in all his glory. What a boy! See-through head man makes an absolute mockery of NASA, the ISS, SpaceX, and the globe, as he highlights essentially the ISS is a harness fest of morons. Dear oh dear.
Okay. Oh, do we have audio? Okay, that was the video by Level Earth Observer, and greetings to Dan Sewell. Thanks for joining us in the live chat. Yeah, I will go on. This video isn't specifically tonight about that particular video. We're going to talk about some other subjects. But I did want to actually address a couple of things about the ISS. I mean, Level Earth Observer tells you his name clearly is, the guy is a believer in the flat Earth. Now, it's not something I've ever covered particularly, and that's not because I don't agree with it, but just because I can't be putting up with the ridiculous amount of trolls that anyone that questions the globe narrative has to put up with. Like ridiculous things. I've been on, I'll share my screen in a minute and I'll show you some of the chat threads that I've been involved with. But also, whilst we're looking at ISS glitches, Expedition 54, right, I'm going to share my screen then, and we will go ahead. I'm curious to know anyone tuning in. Not sure how many people we've got with us this evening, but if anyone else is out there, it'd be good to know your views on the ISS and stuff. Personally, don't buy it for a second. Yeah, here we go. Expedition 54. It'd be good to have the whole video. I'll tell you why. Want to look at it. At the end, right? Is it this interview? No, it isn't this one. There's one where they all start glitching at the end. I was watching a video of it just previous. Where are they? But it's not just the bit at the end that I want to focus on. Here we go. This is the actual video. This is by M&M News UK. I'm not subscribed to this person. Don't know too much about them. But yeah, it's this person here. His face is... I'm not sure if you've ever come across any of those apps. I think they're fairly common. You can stitch a face on top of another person. And if you look closely at this guy, it kind of looks like he has had... But unfortunately, this video isn't long enough to really show much of it. But when you do see the side of his face, I mean, you can just about make it out above his hand. Yeah, it does look like they literally... And then this is where it glitches. So what I would like to see is more of the original footage before that happens. Right, Dan Sewell, get yourself to a stand in the park if you haven't already. They're all over the country and it has stopped me going mad. Aha, great way to connect with like-minded people. A stand in the park. I'm not aware of anything like that going on in my location, Wiltshire. I mean, if it is, how would you find out your nearest one, Dan? I'd be interested to know. I have heard of them though. They do sound like pretty, good ways of helping people connect. But at the minute, I mean, are we not all free these days in the UK to go and stand in parks? I'm not saying that isn't going to change soon. Perhaps September could be quite a key month. I'd be curious to know what's going to come in September. Isn't it? September the 10th. We'll look at that in a minute. But first of all, I just want to cover. I want to find a better interview of these. Oh shoot. Right, I'm subscribed to a guy called UAP, another wonderful YouTuber, and yeah, he had some footage of them up, but I'm not going to go plagiarising watching all his videos. I think maybe it was this one. Yeah, it might even have been on a different channel too. I'll have to find it. I'll have a proper look at it one day. Dan Sewell, have you watched the channel Dearth? Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole? Yes, very much. I am indeed subscribed to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. There we go. He is on my list. Where's the curvature? Yeah, as I say, I mean, I have no problem. If you think, where do we hear about all the stuff relating to the shape of the Earth, and where does all that information come from? It comes from the same people that are telling us all the modern day rubbish. I mean, if I go to a news outlet, BBC News, let's see what trash that they're spouting. The same people that bring us these ridiculous stories. Girls Allowed singer Sarah. Well, I have no idea on that one. But yeah, all this stuff: Afghanistan, climate change. I don't know, 9/11, all the usual rubbish. The same people reporting that are also reporting that Tim Peake went up to the International Space Station, and again, you never have to look far. If you put in the word space, I'm sure they've got countless stories about space, which, again, all based on their rubbish. Okay. Yeah, they've usually got some latest story about the Milky Way, about a new discovery that sheds light on early moments of our existence. They've always got some story or another to tell. Bob Newell, greetings and welcome to the live chat. Bob says there's a web page. I keep meaning to go to my local one. Floppy Door is one of my favourite ISS clips. Yeah, you'd have to. It might well be one. I have seen people criticising the door. Is that the one where you've got a scuba diver on a spacewalk and the door's like jelly? Yeah, I'm familiar with it. But it is. There are people out there working extremely hard to keep you and I from ever looking into the subject of the shape of the Earth. And like I said, there's probably means that I'm. Let's see, how long would it take me to find the exact quote? Yeah, I saw a channel name. Couldn't believe the name of the channel of somebody who was replying to a comment I'd left. Where is it? And they were actually called Downvote Flat Earth, which is insane when you think about people who create channels just to downvote this content. Vote out Flat Earth. That's basically what they're saying, is what this person's yeah, I'm not even going to go into the comments. That all these channels never have any content. A lot of them, they were created just 2nd of September 21, and they literally joined just to downvote videos on content they don't want people to see. What their purpose is, who knows? I mean, I'm not even going there. I mean, do many people downvote videos about, well, let's say, I don't know, the Boris Johnson's latest Question Time on the BBC? I mean, people probably do downvote them. The Scum newspaper, Boris Johnson confirms the Taliban is their entire account set up just to downvote these. Actually, it's got 2,000 to 551. So yeah, fair enough. A lot of people do disagree with this stuff. Good to see, and they've turned comments off again for a good reason, because they know that they would probably get blasted. Right, let's see. There's a webpage about Meet in the Park, was it? Or Stand in the Park, sorry. Let's have a look. Yeah, I keep seeing posters up in my local area about, I can't think what they're called now, but they've got some pretty catchy, something Rose, and they've got a Telegraph or Telegram group. Sorry, I didn't use Telegram. Stand in the Park. I'm guessing this is Stand in the Park. Okay. And 20 countries every Sunday, 10 till 11 a.m. We stand for freedom. A stand in the park unites people. Good suggestion. Thank you, Dan Sewell. Oh, what am I doing? I know what I want to do. Sorry, zoom in. Right, Stand in the Park unites people in parks all over the world every Sunday, 10 till 11 a.m. We stand in the park to celebrate freedom, diversity, and fairness for all. What do they mean by... Is it... Okay. We invite you to stand united in all personal truth for freedom. Okay, fair enough. Sounds good. I mean, diversity, do they mean... will the diversity of someone whose choice is they don't want to take the latest flavour of the month pharmaceutical product, therefore, even though we're considered a crowded place, we're still going to let you in? I'd be interested to know where my local one is. I suppose you have to just send the name of your park and be there on Sunday from 10 till 11. We'll put the word out and get you some standards. Make a stand and make some friends. Sounds like a good idea. I'll put a link to that in the live chat if anyone wants to take part in it. I'm certainly not endorsing it, never been to it, don't know anything about it, but Bob Mule seems to think it's a good idea. Phil Wright, greetings. What are your thoughts on Sarah Harding passing away? Good question. Again, we'll have a look at one thing. How many news outlets covered the story, and how many news outlets make the death of this person their number one story? Let's have a look. We've already been on to... Sorry, just going back. Thanks for the suggestion, Bob, about Stand in the Park. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, what I would maybe like to see is you're able to maybe put in your... Oh, I don't know. I suppose it's as good a way as any to do it. So, yeah. We'll have a look in a second, Phil, to see how many different organisations went with Sarah Harding as their number one news story. Summer stand-ins. Protect our children. Say no to the passport. Excellent. A Gert Big Bristol super stand. Okay, nice one. Surrey super standing park. Yeah, I mean, John Coles Park, I know that place very well. When is that one? 18th of September, 11 till 3. Brilliant. All day to go along. Okay, it might well be attacked, you know. I'm not ruling it out. 18th of Saturday, 18th of September. Why can't it be a Sunday? Otherwise, that would be ideal. See all the rest? Sunday, 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 Sunday. Sunday. Why have they made the one local to me Saturday? Oh, can't do that, I'm afraid. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, right. Sarah Harding. Let's go with MSN. Of course, MSN are a international news outlet, so let's see. Does Sarah Harding get into these people's list? How Sarah Harding's diagnosis pulled Girls Aloud together as they rallied round in support. How long till Girls Aloud bring out their best of album? Okay, MSN have covered it. Who else have we got? BBC News, we already seen that. They've covered it. I don't know enough news outlets. Reuters, I guess. And what Reuters covers, the rest of the world covers, trust me. Because most news outlets just buy their... I'll get lost. Most news outlets just buy their news straight from Reuters or AP. So, almost as if these people are packaging news. Right, if I go... Okay, let's see. See all world. I'd like to see the UK, really, but... Okay, I'm not seeing Sarah Harding particularly on the front cover of this one. Now, what does this mean? If you remember, we recapped our hoax event checklist, and one of the big things was mass coverage on lots of different outlets. Right. How do you just see the UK, for example? Okay, fair enough. Reuters haven't, not on an immediate inspection, gone with that story. Who else? I don't know. Daily Mail. And then we'll look at Metro. Couple more. And see if it passes one of the tests. You will be first thing on there. You will be get stuffed. You will be remembered for the light and joy you brought to the world. Sarah Harding's Girl Aloud bandmate. Yep, first story on the Daily Fail. Right, once my computer wakes up and starts spinning, we'll check out the Metro. And then we'll actually look at the story and see what else there is. Phil points out she was 39 with cancer. Yeah, ridiculously young age for someone to go. Bob says there's a list somewhere of parks where people are going. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I did find that, and my local one happened to be a Saturday, the Holy Sabbath day, and I won't break that for well, I don't know, maybe going in a park. Yep, first story of the Metro. They've got those fakers as well. Baby killed in... what? Okay, UK set for 30-degree temperatures. I always say September has the best weather of the year here in the United Kingdom. She looks older than 39 though, doesn't she? Anyway, let's see if there's any other giveaway, telltales. 39, is that a hoax code? The 9 does look particularly like a 6, so 3-6 upside down. The single mother's Marie broke the news in an Instagram post. What? Who puts out this sort of news on Instagram? Oh, maybe people do these days. Celebrity death, of course, you got it straight up there on Instagram, aren't you? When did she actually pass away, I wonder? Alongside a black and white photo of the star, she writes with deep heartbreak that today I'm sharing the news that my beautiful daughter has passed away. How long do you think she waited to break this news? Yeah, see, as it's on Instagram, immediately I'm suspicious. I'd be curious to see what this woman's baby pictures look like, like pictures of her with the baby, see if any of... She was a single mum, apparently. Oh, of course, she takes pictures from her hospital bed and puts them on Instagram. Yep, of course you do that. Sarah shared that the cancer had advanced to other parts of her body. For me, that's a bit of an insult to actually genuine cancer sufferers, that this woman... See, it's almost like you can't believe they would do that. Would these celebrities really... I mean, obviously there's playing the part on a soap opera of someone with cancer is one thing, but to then try and convince the public that you are actually ill and dying of cancer, I think that's pretty low in my book. Right, just have a look at the live chat. Bear with me. Isa Lounge, greetings. Thanks for joining the live chat. The Queen... Oh, Dan Sewell. Have I missed anyone else? Phil Wright says a darts player passed away too. Kyle Anderson, aged 33. Very sceptical on that one. Well, again, you got the hoax code, although I haven't actually heard of that story. Isa Lounge says... Oh no, Dan Sewell. Is the Queen dead? And Isa Lounge says the Queen isn't idea. See how Prince Charles looks different in different pics recently. He looks nothing like Charles. And that's true. Since he got his bout of... virus, then yeah, he did come back looking quite a bit different. Perhaps they've changed the actor. Okay, so what do I think of Sarah Harding? As they're putting it all over Instagram, yeah, I'm going to say she's full of it. Girls Aloud are probably a bunch of you-know-whats anyway. So, look at that demonic look. Yeah, hang on. Oh, obviously, I don't know when this picture was taken, but look at that hair. Doesn't look like she's been going through chemo, but obviously we don't know when this picture was taken. She was one of Pop's most bubbly personalities. Wow. Non-stop gushing now about this person. Graham, greetings. Welcome to the live chat. Thanks for joining. I thought Sarah Harding was already died a few months back. Not one I'd heard of. If she had, you never know. I wouldn't put it past them to say that story didn't get much, didn't get a lot of coverage, so we'll announce the death all over again. Although you would think someone would spot that, I'm not sure. Yeah, there was another thing. Bear with me 1 second. I just wish to mute my microphone. Excuse me there. I just needed to grab myself a drink. Yeah, I saw a cracking news story the other day. Actually, it was another YouTuber. Where was it? Yeah, I subscribed to this guy just today. I think he was called Truth in Your Face. It was a recommendation by the wonderful Anaconda Malt Liquor. Was it Truth in Your Face? Anamano PQRS. Let's see. There we go. Truth in Your Face. This guy. It was one of the videos he shared. Asked a really great question. Forgive me if I've moved on. We will look at Has the Queen Died. That's not something I've heard of, but I know there was something came out recently that they were saying that when it does happen, London's going to be overrun. So it sounds like they've already got that story nicely set up. Here we go. Here was the video. Yeah, I'm fairly new to this channel, but what I've seen is pretty good. We'll just watch this quick video. Although, to be honest, I don't want to jump from one story to another, one subject to another too much. I hope everyone agrees. Everyone agrees that I've covered the Sarah Harding thing. Let's see if we can find. We will have a look for her Instagram account shortly because I do want to see if any of her baby look dodgy. Sarah Harding Instagram. See, maybe people do, okay, but just like sharing pictures of your baby sick in hospital, do people really put images of themselves dying in hospital on Instagram? Surely not. Not just on like your private Instagram or anything, but on your basically what's otherwise known as, yeah, she put pictures of herself in hospital. I hope you're keeping safe. I bet it ends up being a plug for, can you donate money to this charity, or we'll get a GoFundMe, or we'll get some sort of, please give money to this otherwise NHS service, but we want to prop them up a bit with this story. Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping safe and well in these uncertain times. I've not posted on here for long. I feel it's the right time to share what has been going on. I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, and a couple of weeks ago I received devastating news that it advanced. Do you think there'll be a link to something or a plug? Wonderful NHS doctors and nurses, yeah, sure. I'm not going there. There are a lot of good, hard-working people that work for the NHS, but they don't always do what's best for the patients. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure whether she would have posted pictures of her child or a baby bump, but that's always a classic, a good giveaway. Let's see. I mean, we could be scrolling for hours, so I don't know how old her child was meant to be. And to be fair to her, it doesn't look like she plasters them all over Instagram like some celebrities do. Perhaps they're grown up anyway. Perhaps their child has grown up. Who knows? Okay, no images of that to see. Right, I'm curious to know. Oh, hang on. No, I don't know what this is. Linktree, something else. I wonder if anywhere they're trying to get people to donate to anyone. Because that would... Okay, not that I can see, but who knows. You don't generally have to look hard too long on Instagram to find these celebrities plugging something. I can't believe it. #1 on iTunes, basically promoting our own album. Hi everyone. Is that a plug? Is that a link to something? Yep, here we go. Christie's charity. I've literally no idea how this all works. I don't know what she's on about. While I was searching through my laptop for old photos to include in the book, I actually came across a song. So she's promoting some book she's making about herself. I've always really loved it. I've made it forever. Also, quick plug of her new album or a new song, whatever. And then she mentions a charity. Bear in mind how much money is being chucked at the NHS hand over fist at the moment. The last thing anyone needs to do is raise money for the NHS. Raising vital funds for the Christie NHS Foundation Trust. Yeah, nice little plug there from the dying woman. I'm going to say it's just clickbait. All these stories are. So no, I'm not buying that one. Isa Lounge says they're all actors. Of course they are. Graham also thought Pele had died and believes he's experiencing a lot of the supposed Mandela effect. Yes, there are a lot of strange occurrences out there. The other week, actually last Sunday, I didn't make my live stream. So instead I did a rerun of an old video I did where we watched 1984. Don't know if any of you made it for that. Now, part of Winston's job, this is actually connected to the Mandela effect, as it were. Part of Winston's job was vaporizing people, mainly. But it was basically changing the news, changing history. And they had to vaporize people and events that had happened that contradicted whatever they were currently talking about. Now, for me, yeah, I'm certainly not going to deny that certain things seem to change. Things that I was... See, there's a few things that, some of it I don't really know. Like, I couldn't hand on my heart say, yes, I watched the original Disney movie of Beauty and the Beast or whatever it was, the one where they say mirror, mirror on the wall or magic mirror. I never watched the original Disney film. Don't know what she originally said. The one that I am pretty confident I remember is the film 007 film where Dolly, is it? I don't know if you know the character. I'm sure we could find a picture. Dolly in James Bond. I'm sure she had a big set of braces. But now if you watch it, she doesn't. Now that would be one thing I'm a bit, that threw me a little bit. Because, yeah, I was confident she had them. But then how many times have I watched that film? Maybe it was some other idea I got that from. There is one thing that people say is a Mandela effect that I am confident, and actually I remember the current one. At the end of Star Wars scene, medals. Everyone says they confidently remember Chewbacca receiving a medal at the end of Star Wars. Now, I have a very vivid memory that Chewbacca did not receive a medal, so much so that I asked my mum at the time, who I was with watching it, because I think it was a PG and we watched it, or whatever. I remember asking why they never gave Chewbacca a medal, and she said, "Oh, it could probably get all tangled up in his fur." So yeah, that's another one. So what do I think is the Mandela effect? Is it a supernatural ability or of some entity that's able to change time? Could be. I believe a lot of it is misdirection. They want us to believe they've got these abilities. So, for example, take Mirror Mirror. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for all of them. Maybe there is more to it than this. But say a film like it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, wasn't it, with Mirror Mirror on the wall. Now, say the original always had Magic Mirror, but every other remake ever made, every other quotation ever made, changed it, and and then you're basically you'll basically have false memories implanted in you, just so later on they can come out and make you think that they have these abilities. I'm not sure. I can't say that's for certain, but okay, sorry, got a bit sidetracked on that. Yeah, I'm obviously curious to know what you guys' opinions are on Mandela effect. Who was it originally mentioned there? Isaac Jones. I'm sure you had a easier way of easier name, right? Let's see. It's not normal to post on being sick. Lots of documents their hopes and acceptance. I watch vids like that. Yes, completely agree. Graham, is there a New Girls Aloud single? I didn't actually know. Timely, yes, you're absolutely right. It was a very timely death if it's just in time for their new single. Graham says, I remember she did, as that was the kind of her connection to Jules. Graham, absolutely correct. Now, it wouldn't be impossible. Now, isn't it? I mean, perhaps it isn't the case, but isn't it curious that a lot of these changes we now notice now that videos have gone, VHSs have gone. So yeah, perhaps every original, I don't know, it's not like you really could make sure that every original copy of Star Wars, James Bond, for example, Dolly and Jules, could be wiped out. However, perhaps they could put some sort of time limit on these videotapes so that after a certain amount of times, the tapes just, expire. I no longer have a video player. I'm not sure if any videos I had from the 80s would still play now, or would just the elements have worn away the tape so you couldn't watch it anyway. If you want to kind of check the proof. If anyone does want to know more about the Mandela effect, there's someone much more kind of qualified to talk about it than me. Well, I say qualified, but he really seems to know his stuff. And that is Brian Staveley. Brian's pretty great. That's not him. Let's see. He is a YouTuber. Oh, we're going to watch that in a minute about. His channel was Dose of Reality. Maybe that's what I should be looking for. Yeah, he's an American guy. Says, he's never worn a mask. He's never put on. He seems to know his stuff. as I don't often hear him say much that I disagree with. Alright, maybe if we do a... Of course, his videos have been attacked with strikes and censorship recently, so I know he does a lot of uploading to other networks. I think Rockfin, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Rockfin. It isn't something I'm familiar with. Let's see. Isa Jones, your name is Kev. Yes, of course it is, Kev. If you don't mind me calling you that, I will try and, go with that one. Graham says, why do people still say mirror, mirror on the wall? Yeah, maybe it was in the original Disney film, that one. Like I say, I've never watched the original Disney film that I can remember. What I do remember is having a read it yourself book, which I used to have bedtime stories read to me, and of course they were always mirror, mirror. Either way, it's still MM, isn't it? 2 M's together, mirror, mirror, magic mirror. There's your 33. Nicely put in. Right, maybe I'm misspelling. I'll tell you what, we'll go to YouTube and find it there, because I am definitely subbed to the guy. Let's see, subscriptions. Brian S. Staveley, this is the guy. But as he says, look, this channel is officially done. I've migrated all my content to Rockfin. Please follow me there. So I'm sure he has...
What's up, guys? This is...
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll put a link to his Rockfin. I don't know if any of you guys have used Rockfin before. I know a lot of it involves people... a lot of the videos you have to pay for, but apparently there are free stuff over there. Wow, that's a long... What? No, I'm not sharing that link. That's ridiculous. Right. I'll write it in exactly as he has put it. Oops. What is wrong with me? There we go. Right, rockfin.com/Brian S. Staveley. I will put that in the chat if anyone wants to. rockfin.com/Brian, I think it was capital S. Staveley. He covers loads of stuff, not just Mandela Effect. Where are we? Oh, capital B and both S's are capital. Okay, let's correct that. Whether it makes any difference, I have no idea. Brian S. Staveley. Oh, maybe I should have put HTTP in. I'm not sure. I don't think that will come up as a link. No, it won't. Okay, here we go. HTTP. What was it? Dash. // Oops. Oh, come on. Well, this is typical. Alright. Tell you what we'll do. I will click on it, and then from there I'll copy him. Yeah. Right, we will be carrying on with some other subjects shortly. I particularly want to watch a very short video that was put onto the YouTube channel of Truth in Your Face. Absolutely ridiculous. Bob Mule says, it is supernatural, gotta be, yeah. and there's Bible Mandelas as well. Apparently, yeah, there is a lot of well, there are some verses that a lot of people seem to have misremembered. Can't argue with that. But right, in this story, vaccinated man dies of BS19, but daughter says he was cautious. The name of this video, I'll put a link in, is Vaccinated Man Dies, but it could have been worse. Alright, let me share this video 1 second. Link to Truth in Your Faith video, Control V. Command V actually.
Vaccinated man dies of COVID-19. Daughter says he was cautious. A woman's fully vaccinated father died from COVID-19, with her saying she can't imagine how much more he would have suffered if he had not gotten the vaccine.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Absolutely. How ridiculous is that statement? Man dies of BS19, but it would have been much worse if he hadn't been. I mean, surely it doesn't get much worse than dying, you know? If you're going to have it so bad that it finishes you off, but they want to say it's just more another way of coercing you into getting your jabs, of course. I'm not sure if any of you guys are more familiar with the news, or if you're in different parts of the country. Yeah, Graham, the Cranberries in the background, exactly that music, that song about it's about zombies, and the lyrics saying that in their head they're fighting, which I think is a reference to the First or Second World War. It's the same old thing since 1916. In their head they're fighting. So yeah, since they've been reporting about wars, people just believe that there's, not to say people aren't dying when they go out and join the army, but false flags, etc. Again, that is what the story 1984 looked at last year, which we looked at last week. Again, I'm not going to say I think all of not saying I agree with every would you say premonition that the film or the book suggested is going to happen, but yeah, I think it did get I think a lot of things will come to pass. For example, who would have, when I first read 1984 back in the 90s or whenever it was, never would I have thought anyone would allow cameras. You know, I thought, well, how would they ever get cameras in everyone's houses? I mean, CCTV was one thing, but people would never agree to having cameras put in their houses. Well, what's happened now? We've all carrying devices around with cameras. I'm looking at one now as I make this video, and it's got a camera staring back at me. What was the thing I didn't see happening now? Maybe it was cameras, perhaps that was it. I'm sure there was something else, and I thought, yeah, it must have been, I never, you know, I can imagine things like false flags happening. I can imagine, the mainstream media lying constantly, and that does indeed happen. But I didn't think, the voice one, that's it, where something starts talking to you, something listening to every word you say. And of course, you look at Amazon Dots, Amazon Echoes. In fact, one of the videos I made a while back, Amazon Dots is a mini microphone that's just going to start listening, you know, is just there to listen out for you. And any time you set your phone, for example, to listen out for the words "Hey Siri" or "Hey Google," apologies if I've set anyone's devices off there, but if you've set your device or your computer or anything to listen out for your voice, then it's got the excuse to listen out for everything. Likewise, any... Oh, what was the other thing? Sorry, completely lost my train of thought there. Sorry. Devices, phones, computers that have facial, basically, is it when they either scan your iris or they recognize your face? Again, it's just a camera that is on, filming everything, waiting for you to unlock it. Yeah, for me, it is a touch. Yeah, a touch. It's getting a bit close for comfort to the narrative of 1984. Right, I'll have a look. Graham says, I think it was about the Troubles, wasn't it? Possibly, maybe I don't know the lyrics. I thought it was the same old thing since 1916, but perhaps it was 1960. Zombie lyrics. Okay. What's wrong with that? Got it. Oh. Another head hangs lowly, child is slowly taken, and the violence caused. Such silence. Who are we mistaken? Right. But you see, it's not me, it's not my family, it's in your head. In your head they're fighting with their tanks and bombs and their... Okay, where was the bit about the year? Yeah, there we go. It's the same old theme since 1916. Okay, maybe that is a reference to the Troubles, as you say, in Ireland. I just assumed it was talking about world wars, but when was the First World War? I should know that. It was 1919, wasn't it? I believe, not 1916, but hey-ho. Yeah, it seems to me like they're pretty much telling you it's all in your head. All this fighting that you see reported about, it's in your head, you zombie. So, and yeah, we must be mistaken about the violence. Okay, not to say people don't die when they go to the army. Right, it's 11:15. I've been going for an hour. At this point, I would usually take a short interval. Graham, 1916 IRA Easter Rising. Okay. The only... Yeah, I mean, that's a part of history I probably should know better. I do have... yeah, my grandmother was from Northern Ireland, by all accounts. So I do have a quarter of me is Irish. And yeah, from what I remember, there was we can look it up, look up the Easter Rising. I remember hearing about some soldiers who had been fighting for the Brits or for, the Allied forces, as it were, opposing Germany in both wars, that they murdered some Irish soldiers, or they kept them locked in a hallway, a bank or something. Let's have a look. Easter Rising. Let's educate ourselves, or at least me anyway. People probably know. Yeah, I think it was linked to the soldiers that were... Right, we have to go on Wikipedia. Well, this is the official narrative of the Easter Rising. Not to say it's true, but this is what the news would have reported. The Easter Rebellion was an armed insurrection in Ireland, basically in their own homes. So it's hardly insurrection, but whatever. In Ireland during Easter weekend in April 1916, the rising was launched by Irish Republicans against British rule in Ireland. Well, fair enough, with the aim of establishing independent. Okay, it was the most significant uprising in Ireland. and the first armed conflict of the Irish Revolutionary period, but the insurrection, the nature of the executions and subsequent political developments ultimately contributed to an increase in popular support for Irish independence. Organised by a 7-man military council of the Irish Republican, the rising began led by Irish language activist Patrick Pearse. Okay. Yes, I am vaguely familiar with this one. Oh, what am I doing? Of the 485 killed, 260 were civilians. Well, that sounds right, doesn't it? 143 were British military and police, and 82 were Irish rebels, including 16 rebels executed for their roles in the rising. More than 2,600, there's their number. People were wounded. Many of the other there's their number again. 260 civilians. 143. Okay, and that pops up twice. Is that suspect? Yeah, I'm sure there was something about people being locked in a bank or members of Liberty Hall. Fair enough. Right, we can come back to this subject. The only thing I would like to do is take a 5-minuter, as it were, whilst I will play one of my videos, which we looked at, like the Amazon dot and all this stuff. Let's see, where was it? I also did one saying don't throw away basically dumb cameras. I mean, nowadays you get all sorts of smart cameras that have been released. And my recommendation is not to think, oh well, chuck away my old analog camera as it was and make do with. But yeah, that. If the video I particularly want us to play during the interval, just a couple of minutes, is long enough. Where is it? And then we will go on to the title. I mean, on the thumbnail to this video, I'm asking, who do you trust? So yeah, there's a couple of things I want to discuss about there, and I'm curious to know. There's my why you should hold on to your dumb cameras. But the actual video I'm looking for is, where is that? This is going back a long way. Where are we? Right, it wasn't as late as this, I'm sure of that. Maybe it got removed, I don't know. Can't see why. Sorry people, we will get there in a minute, otherwise I will play another one on the interval, because yeah, I do need to take a 2-minute. I thought it was around this time. Sorry, do bear with me. Yeah, it was basically a video about Facebook cameras, all this stuff. Antonio Reyes, Arsenal, that's inquest in. Cannot find it. I probably scrolled past it like 10 times. It was around here, I know that much. I will have a look at the live chat in a minute. Where is it? Sorry people, I will go more than just scrolling up and down my own channel list in a sec. Odd. I'm sure I had a video. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I know I had this video up there. Maybe it was the one about the cameras, I don't know. Alright. Perhaps it was. I will play that anyway, although it only goes on for 3 minutes. Yeah, that'll give me enough time. Okay, I will need to leave my camera playing. Right. Okay. You can watch this video. It's 3 minutes. When we come back, I'll be back. I'll address the live chat. Graham just says he looked up the
computer
meaning of the song, and it's all about the troubles and senseless waste of lives. Slowly a child is taken, an IRA bomb in a bin killed a boy. Perhaps my only problem with that is why then are they saying about all the fighting's in your head? I don't know. Okay, this wasn't the original video I wanted to play, but it will do. I will be back in 3 minutes 22.
Hi everyone, I'm making this video as a suggestion, a recommendation that anyone who owns a analog camera, a non-connected camera base, doesn't connect to the internet, hangs on to them for the time being and avoids upgrading. I mean, these days smart cameras are becoming more and more popular. These make it easy for you to share your photos, you can upload them straight to the internet, and particularly smartphones as well, of course. Cameras on smartphones are huge now. It means that everyone's got a camera at hand, and that is a very good thing. But as we go forward, as 5G starts being rolled out and devices become smarter, as they say, we may find ourselves wishing that we had held on to devices that couldn't be so easily controlled. And if we go back to 2016, we see that Apple was granted a patent for third parties to be able to remotely disable a camera. So, for example, it was being pushed as if you were at a concert and the band didn't want people filming their performance and sharing it, then that would be a great thing. But of course, this article by The Guardian raises censorship fears. But back in 2016, were we aware of just what direction we would be going with 5G and how in control our devices could be by third parties? And going back to this patent, it allows your smartphone camera to be disabled. Now you may think, well, what kind of a feature is that? Who is going to be wanting that in their phone? Well, it could come down to a point where you don't have a choice. If you're familiar with the FCC in America, before an RF product can be launched in America, it has to have FCC approval. And these people are in a position where they could say, well, any smart camera, any smartphone now has to have this patent that Apple own, which could then make that patent very valuable to them. And I think we could then find ourselves wishing that we were in a situation where we still owned our bog standard old analog cameras or analog smartphones, by which time it could be too late. We are in a society where we're always wanting to upgrade to the latest devices, latest computers, latest phones, latest cameras. So yeah, like I say, my advice is to hold on to your old devices, try and not to follow the herd and buy the latest iPhones and Samsungs, because I think there will soon come a time, as 5G is rolled out, where we find the smarter our devices get, the dumber we get. And we don't want to be slaves to a piece of electronic machinery. But the takeaway from this video is, if you've got a current smartphone, try and not upgrade too quickly. If you've got an analog camera or a digital camera that isn't connected immediately to the internet, hold on to it, because who knows what they'll be able to do in the age of 5G. As there could come a time where you witness what you may believe is a phony fake event. You want to get a picture of it, you want to get your proof of it, and what do you know, you can't film anything. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Yeah, your comments and questions are welcome.
Right, that video goes back to June the 2nd, 2018. I still kind of stand by what I said in there. I think the more reliant we get on uploading everything to a cloud, on everything being digital, everything being online, the easier it is for, well, take Mandela effects for example. How much easier can history be changed when all data, all records of everything is basically digital and easy to reprogram, or put some algorithm in where in 20 years any like e-book copy of a book that's come out that has a particular phrase or sentence can easily be flipped. Perhaps they've had that technology all along, we just didn't know about it. Perhaps, video cases, I know they're made of paper, but who knows, perhaps video cassettes always had a program in them where they could flip the script anytime they want. It's out there, it's not something I'm 100% agreeing, saying is definitely true, but who knows. It's an odd one. Thanks, Kev. I'd like to thank everyone who has tuned in tonight, and especially those sharing their thoughts in the live chat. It's always good to have a bit of interaction. We're a bit quieter this evening than some of the previous Sundays I've done. I didn't manage to do one last Sunday for various reasons. It was actually my wedding anniversary, so I couldn't really justify going online for 2 hours and hosting, but I did do on Monday. No, I did it on the Wednesday actually, sorry, my Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, yes, I am curious then. The original kind of thumbnail of this video asks the question, who do you trust? I've seen a lot of people saying, I've had people sharing with me. Thanks, Graham, that's very kind of you to say. I don't generally talk much about my personal life or much about myself. That is because generally the purpose of this YouTube channel is to expose, fakery, to point out things where I believe the mainstream media are blatantly lying, and I don't want to dilute that too much with me, with me being the main subject. So Alex Balefield and Russell Brand. I don't know if any of you are familiar with these two people. Both are what I would say at the moment you would consider a mainstream truther. I know Alex Balefield has been very outspoken about the way the government have handled, the supposed pandemic. But the thing is with Alex, who in the thumbnail is on the right, he will not come out and say he will not come out and say they're lying, basically. He'll come out and criticise the government, say, you did such a rubbish job of keeping everyone locked down, or even say lockdowns are unfair. But he won't come out and say, as far as I know, I don't watch the guy, but so I'm curious to know what you guys think. Russell Brand, I don't know if any of you guys remember. I used to watch his videos, I remember years ago, back before I was properly aware of how deceptive the world is. Mainstream media, the world that he is a big part of, as is Alex Balefield. I believe he is a BBC One, he used to be a weatherman from what I saw. Perhaps now he does just work off of his own YouTube channel. But like David Icke, he comes from the BBC. Russell Brand, did he start on the BBC or was he Channel 4? I remember seeing some pretty horrific footage of Russell in a programme he used to do back when he was first starting out. And he was going in and using like Rent Boys stuff, just obscene, vile stuff that tells us exactly what a sort of a character Russell Brand is. And how anyone can take him seriously when, I don't know. Right, anyway, I'll have a look at the live chat. Graham says, well, drug dealers are now totally going off the grid with their devices. The prices of an old school Nokia phone had a huge spike in the past few years. Interesting to know. I was tempted to go back to an early type of, say it was a smartphone. It was a Nokia, actually. It had a web browser, a very basic one. I think you could maybe do YouTube just about. but mainly calling and texting. But unfortunately, the SIM card, when I tried to put my SIM card in the adapter, because they've all changed the SIM cards now, meaning that, well, you can still get the old type of SIM cards, I agree, but if you broke down your SIM card and you need to put it then into adapter, that adapter then broke the SIM card reader in my phone, so that didn't work. But yeah, I kind of would like to get rid of my smartphone in a way, although I do use it a lot, like a lot of people, I'm sure. Let's see, yes. Graham says, referring to Russell Brand, he was pretty funny until he was Labour Party's secret weapon to get the youth vote in. Absolutely. He spent weeks leading up to... Oh, and Phil Wright says Russell Brand has 33 tattooed on his arm. Exactly. Well, on his wrist. You're absolutely right. In fact, just going back to my previous videos again, I did one called Never Trust a Stand-Up Comedian or something. Let's see. And Russell Brand gets a mention. Here it is, another... Right, we don't have to watch the whole thing through, but... In fact, I'll mute it for a minute until we get to it. Perhaps I put subtitles on. Yes, I mentioned Russell in that for that exact same thing. He spent weeks leading up to the general election telling people how it's the two arms of the same beast, basically speaking truth, you know, being honest, saying what a joke, how pointless it is to vote. Only for like a week. Here we go. I can't remember exactly what I said about it. And this again goes back to April 2019, this video. Right, here was my 2019 opinion of Russell Brand.
Tactics are used. Another faux anarchist used to propagate unrest is Russell Brand, who took on the very people that paid his wages in a series of videocasts leading up to the 2015 UK general election, insisting people shouldn't vote, only to do a U-turn at the last minute and throw his support behind the Labour Party.
Oh, sorry, just go back there. You can see on the wrist, which I'd circled, is his 33. Apparently people ask him and he says, well, it's the age Jesus died. Well, actually, no. There's nowhere in the Bible that says Jesus was 33 years of age. It does make reference to Jesus starting his ministry in his 30th year, but it never says he died at the age of 33. Well, if it does, then I've skipped over that part because I'm prepared to be corrected, but no, I do not believe it says anywhere Jesus died at the age of 33. They're just adding that number to the narrative, as it were. However, the Bible, actually, I mean, for example, there's 66 books in the Bible. Of course, the original King James Version, I believe, had more, like 88. Again, a dual number, but it was cut down. They did remove a lot of stories from the Bible. Into the Void, greetings and thanks for joining the live chat. Good to hear from you. It says Russell Brand has links to Jacob Rothschild for his girlfriend Gemma Goldsmith. Absolutely, apparently. Right, I'm not sure if his current girlfriend is a different person. Oh, by the way, there he is once again doing everyone's favourite Masonic hand gestures. We'll go on to look at Alex Balefield in a minute and see if we see anything familiar. Yeah, okay, Into the Void tells us Brand is Gemma Goldsmith, who is Zach Goldsmith, I'm guessing is their father, Alice Rothschild and Jacob Rothschild. Fair enough. Apparently, I do remember one of the people Russell Brand married, and apparently it was a family member to a Sky News reader. And now, at the time, Brand had been very critical of Rupert Murdoch, the owner of News Group, who happens to own the news group is part of Fox, which is owned by the very person Russell Brand was supposedly very critical of. And yeah, he did of course manage to interview Donald Trump a while back. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Russell Brand holds out a particular hand gesture. Alex Balefield. I believe that we won't have to look too far. I thought there was always some... Yeah, I mean, if you guys think differently to me, you are totally entitled to your opinion. Oh. I just don't buy it. I mean, I'm sure I've seen him doing that very same hand gesture. Here we are. So, well, not here we are, but they warned them not to take Captain Tom. What did he warn them? Yeah, about not taking him to Barbados because he might catch coronavirus. And what do you know? He caught coronavirus. Yeah. All right, let's have a look. We'll do a proper Bing search of Alex Balefield. Yeah, I know a lot of people that actually like this guy and they think he speaks a lot of truth. So, fair enough. I'm not going to be down on a person just because they're successful. But yeah, look at this guy. You can see he's part of showbiz. What's he doing there? 666. Hand gesture. And actually in the thumbnail we've got Russell doing that very same gesture. But rather than clutching his collar, bear with me. I'm not even sharing my screen. My apologies. Okay. Yeah, here we've got Russell Brand doing his 666 hand symbol. Now, if we look at Alex, here he is doing exactly the same hand gesture. Interesting. I see. Graham saying Jemima Khan is the same person as who exactly? Are you saying... right. Sorry, let's have a look. Graham says, yeah, he had sex with that Wogan child antiques dealer turned transsexual. I know exactly who you're on about. That was a weird one. That was boost the profile, particularly of Russell Brand, after that story where him and he went on Jonathan Ross's radio show and phoned up the guy from Jemima Goldsmith. No, that's not him, is it? Jemima Khan. Into the Void. I'm curious who you think is the same person as Jemima Khan. Sorry, I've kind of not watched that. I'm not following the chat properly well enough. Graham, you're not getting Lawrence Fox again. Jemima Khan and Jemima Goldsmith. Interesting. So was one of them linked to that Jonathan Ross thing? Let's have a look. Yeah, we haven't seen this guy do his symbol just yet, like I said we would. That was... Yeah, when I looked at Russell Brand video, I may have had my screen shared. I'm sure there's one of him doing the pyramid hands, clutching his microphone with a pyramid, you know. Yeah, here he is on the news. He's part of the BBC. Right, I want to see the similarity between the two Jemimas. I do actually quite like the name Jemima, but Jemima Goldsmith. I do like making... Oh my goodness. Wow. So, weirdly, Jemima Khan comes up. Oh, that's what. Are they the same person? I'm getting confused here. Imran Khan. Right, okay, it is the same person. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Russell. Yeah, Graham says Russell had sex with the granddaughter of the waiter from Fawlty Towers. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and I do remember that story, and as I said, it was Jonathan Ross ended up losing his job on the BBC, and Russell Brand ended up going from strength to strength. I think big publicity for all three of those people. Let's just Russell Brand. If I put Jonathan Ross, I'm sure that will bring up the story. Again, Wikipedia. No, I'm not going to Wikipedia on this occasion. Andrew Sachs, that was the one. Alright, Andrew Sachs' granddaughter. Let's have a look at that person. There she is. Georgina Bailey. Alright, we'll have a proper look at Georgina Bailey. I mean, who knows what. Isn't she a Satanist or something? Dating in the Park. Oh my goodness, she did alright out of it all okay as well. She came out of it alright. Skull and bones all over her clothes. She likes her skull and bone dress, doesn't she? Pretty wide shoulders, but maybe that's discussion for another day. Yeah. Yes, I do indeed remember that story. So yeah, personally, those two people I'm not big on. Let's see, who was the person? Into the Void says Lawrence Fox. See, why am I not familiar with it? I've heard the name, but is it another YouTuber? Lawrence Fox. Okay, I kind of know him. I recognise him. Is he another anti kind of lockdown protester type person? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, he's got a meme up, as it were. If masks work, why social distance? If social distancing work, why the lockdowns? If lockdown work, why the vaccines? If the vaccines work, why the lockdown extension? Join us on our march. Fair enough. I've got to say, I'm not hugely familiar with him. But yeah, there are a lot of mainstream kind of, mainstream truthers, I guess you could put them at. One thing I have noticed, actually, I went looking at, it was an old Twitter account of people I used to follow years ago before I was awake to the lie, and the rubbish they come out with now about, just about the vax, about all that stuff, things I wouldn't particularly want to cover. Sorry, what am I about? It's fascinating how it's a good way of dividing people, keeping us arguing with each other. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would hate to think that I would hate to think I was right if ever I said it would be harmful to take the vax, for example. I've always said I wouldn't take it. I would never put my faith in the pharmaceutical industry like that. I put my faith in God alone, and no way would I trust anyone to look after me. So to say that I would definitely, I would take their vax, not a chance. That's my reason. But I certainly desperately hope anyone that has taken it isn't adversely affected. Okay. Yes, Into the Void. It would appear he is, Lawrence Fox is indeed an actor. Let's see. If you hold a cat by the tail, you learn things you cannot learn any other way. Mark Twain. Sounds a bit like animal cruelty to me. Although he seems to be an animal lover. Ooh. Whoever did this, thank you. You've absolutely made my day. Goodbye, Donald Trump. F off. Any chance you can take Lawrence Fox with you? Wear a mask. I see. Whoever did this, thank you. You absolutely made my day. So it would appear Lawrence Fox gets a lot of criticism for being anti-masker, I'm guessing. Who knows? Who knows? Right, I am going to start winding down soon. Oh, Graham says my son had heart surgery, so my wife and I had to have it. I'm sorry to hear that, Graham. Yeah, that's awful. Oh, yeah, as you know, I certainly would never tell people. I would never tell people what they should do with their bodies, with their medical. I'd never give anyone medical advice. I would maybe share my opinion if they want to hear it. And as I said, I truly hope anyone that has taken it is not adversely affected. I hope a lot of the things I've heard and read aren't true. Most of the people that I do know, most people seem okay. There have been some adverse effects, but mostly, mostly okay so far. I really do genuinely hope that continues that way. Crazy Hippo Lady, greetings and thanks for joining us. Eric Clapton has had problems with the V. He's released a song. This has got to stop. Yeah, I'm not familiar with what happened to our Eric. For me, it seems that subject is a very big kind of divider between people. It's just another reason to keep people fighting and arguing. I mean, people get very passionate about ridiculous things like what football team they support, what phone they carry, and that's what I was saying about. I used to follow a Twitter account, and it was full of people arguing whether, I've got the best phone, I use Android. No, I've got an iPhone, I use the best phone. Getting into like 2 or 3 day long heated arguments about it, resorting to name calling and ad hominem attacks. Really awful over who's got the best phone. How ridiculous. Anyway, these same people are now arguing over, believing they're 100% correct to be saying that employers should be forcing vaccination on their staff. I mean, how can anyone justify that? The way I've come to terms with that, any organisation or establishment that would make that sort of demand of me, I will not trust I've got better places to spend my time. If a pub, for example, wants to say you can't come in unless you've had your vax, I wouldn't want to go there anyway. Maybe it will. Isn't it something like September the 10th meant to be the day when, when all this rubbish could come in? It'll be it'll be interesting to see how it works out. But, I am not going to be coerced into going along with it. But of course, they will get you any way they can, as Graham said. I mean, how do you... Yeah, when you find yourself in a situation where if you want to go and visit loved ones, family members in hospital, what do? So, yeah. Okay. Yes, Into the Void, I second that. For Graham, I hope your son is alright. I hope he's doing well. Absolutely. Yeah, as I said, I am going to start winding down very shortly. We've had a bit of a quiet one this evening. Not as many with us as we sometimes get. But, my huge thanks and appreciation to everyone who has taken the time to tune in and to leave a comment in the live chat. I must much appreciate that. Into the Void says, and remember, don't put cement down the toilets of companies that mandate the jab. Very good advice. I'm sure there's plenty of other good advice, advice we could tell people. Don't let down the tires of any bus that won't let you get on, for example. You would never do that. It'd be an awful thing to do. Just a recap. Who was it that suggested stand in the park? I think it was... Let's see. It was Dan Sewell. I don't know if you're still with us, Dan, but if you are, I think that's a very good idea. I did leave a link in the live chat. Let's see. Home. This is now, personally, I know nothing about these people. I'm basing it on a suggestion by I've forgotten already. Dan Sewell, sorry. As it gets later and the stream carries on, my brain stops functioning. That is why I start having to call it a day. I'm starting to get to that point now. But yeah, they invite people to set up stand-in parks. Now, am I right in thinking this was going ahead back when we were still supposedly being told not to meet in groups of over 6 or 10 or whatever it was? A stand in the park unites people in parks all over the world. Every Sunday, 10 till 11, we stand in the park to celebrate freedom, diversities and fairness for all. We invite you to stand in the park in your personal truth for freedom. I found a park close to me, and would you believe it, they're doing it on Saturday, which for me just isn't great. But yes, it is astandinthepark.org. If you scroll back through the live chat, you will find a link to it. But yeah, had it been Sunday like all the other ones, I would go to this one. Super Stand in the Park, Saturday the 18th of September. I'm kind of disappointed it is on a Saturday. Possibly I could make it along there, we'll see. I might, Saturdays, yeah, it's not a good day for me to do things like that, but maybe. So before winding up, I did want to just have one more comment about, make one more comment about that. Right, Crazy Hippo Lady suggested Eric Clapton. Someone else said, it was Phil Wright was talking about, Phil Wright I've just seen said Belfield is a shill. I'm with you on that one, my friend. That's at least the opinion I get, but as I said, I do not watch him, so yeah, I will reserve judgment, but I'm that is the same sort of conclusion I come to. And Russell Brand, well, the jury, no, there's, you know, yeah, that's a given for me. Russell Brand is a complete, a mainstream truther. Basically, you do get, like, for me, whenever the establishment, as it were, the media, whenever they fake something, they always have a safety net for anyone who doesn't accept the official narrative, which is everyone should have their jabs and be healthy. Anyone that doesn't buy that, they will keep plenty of nets ready to catch you, which is ingenious, really. So you've got to hand it to them for how they carry out their hoaxes, because they have a very good way of scooping up probably 90% of the population with either the official narrative or the official conspiracy theory. I mean, maybe there's deeper levels than that, who knows. I believe Russell Brand and probably Alex Balefield, maybe this other guy, Lawrence Fox, whoever he is. Perhaps he's one of them as well. I don't know enough about this guy. But they certainly will mix truth with lies. So, yeah, but fortunately people like Russell Brand, and they give themselves away, like having a big 33 tattooed on their shirt. Okay, let's see. Right, Eric Clapton, and again, just to sort of stoke the fire of those that are. See, for me, I'm suggesting people don't spend too much time taking part in the deliberate argument they want people getting involved in. You know, if people have, yeah, I hadn't heard much about this one. Eric Clapton sings out against vaccination, and this has got to stop. Thank you for sharing that, crazy hippo lady. Actually, when you said this has got to stop, I thought you were actually saying you want it to stop, but either way. Right, we're certainly not going to play it, because that would be a great way of getting a copyright strike. Although, apparently YouTube does allow you to use copyrighted material, especially like me, if you're not monetized, or even if you are, then I think they share the, any royalties. Right, called This Has Got to Stop, the 76-year-old doesn't explicitly name the virus, but seemingly references the side effects he experienced after receiving the AstraZeneca. Is that it? Is that the entire story? What on earth? Okay. Well, they kept that short and to the point, didn't they? Right, let's see what else there is about him. Eric Clapton. The Sunday Times, they'll surely write more than just a paragraph. They will, but it'll be an absolutely tiny writing that no one can read. Okay, how far back does this story go? Clapton is continuing to wage musical war against BS-19 vaccinations and lockdowns. The legendary guitarist, who has recently rebuked vaccine mandates and complained after receiving his, has released a new song, This Has Got to Stop. With the jaunty blues shuffle, Clapton offers bracing opening words. This has got to stop, enough's enough, I can't take this BS any longer. Clapton also seemingly makes reference to some of the repercussions he said he experienced after receiving it, with the lyrics, I knew that something was going on when you start laying down the law. I can't move my hands, I break out in sweat. I want to cry, I can't take it anymore. Oh, poor guy. The accompanying animated video features stick figures carrying signs that read "Liberty" and "Enough's enough," as well as making other social statements about excessive consumption of media and climate concerns. Interesting. Are we saying Eric Clapton is a mainstream truther, perhaps? Thank you for sharing that, Crazy Hippo Lady. Yeah, Into the Void says if the jab worked, why the passports? If it doesn't work, why the passports? Good point. I mean, they're now, yeah, the amount of things, particularly the amount of headlines you see about people saying, well, just about it in general, basically. Hang on, let's see what is today's. There'll definitely be something trying to push people. Here we go. Introduced by the end of September, Minister says. Well, as Into the Void suggested, don't go putting cement down any of these establishments' toilets. Not that they would let you through the door anyway, but Charles' former aide steps down from charity role amid shocking allegations. Oh dear. Yes, some people were suggesting earlier that had the Queen died, I mean, interesting one. A former aide to the Prince Charles has stepped down temporarily from his role. Oh, I heard about this. This is the... Apparently he's... Oh, the Prince's Foundation, amid allegations he used his influence to help secure an honour for a major donor. What a surprise. Okay, that's nothing to do with it, but I wondered if that would be a link to... Yeah, some people are suggesting the Queen may not still be with us. Just like with Prince Philip. I mean, if Prince Philip's a real person, then I reckon, yeah, he died months before we ever heard about it. And that would probably be the case for yeah, I tell you a headline I read. I'll see if I can find it now. It was about vaccinating Africa, and if they don't I can't even see, my head's going to spit. Vaccinate Africa, and it was some person saying, yeah, it will come back to haunt the vaccinated. I mean, this is basically saying that if you don't vaccinate an entire continent, those of us, Gordon Brown, of course, yeah, the usual rubbish, basically. They want us afraid. Vaccinate Africa, it will be a matter of time until variants come back to haunt the West. That's a stock warning from Gordon Brown, who is leading a push for more doses to be sent to poorer countries. Yet all at taxpayers' expenses, of course. The former Prime Minister called it an urgent meeting for the G7 to discuss. Yeah, why not? Of course they're going to talk about that rubbish. Okay. Right, Prince Philip was the Greek variant. Is he the one that said he wanted to come back as a virus or some weird thing like that? Isn't it a coincidence he died right in the middle of this, though? After saying such a weird, strange thing. Okay, people, I am going to have to call it a night. It's gone midnight here. I did start a bit later this evening, but I would like to share my thanks to Into the Void, Crazy Hippo Lady, Graham, Phil Wright, let's see, Kev, otherwise known as Ayers Jones, that's a mouthful, Bob Mule, I don't know if you're still with us, Bob, but if you are, thanks for joining us. Anyone else I missed? Dan Sewell, of course, is the one that suggested the Queen may not have made it. I'm pretty sure I've said Phil right. If not, please forgive me. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's tuned in this evening. Right, Into the Void says, couldn't post a link. I'll tell you what, Into the Void, I'll give you a moderator. And if you've got a link you want to post now, we could look at it next week, because I will be back next Sunday. Charles Coss, final proof of super civilized. See, I stopped functioning at this time of night, so you'll have to forgive me. Final proof of super civilization. Oh, I can't speak now. Civilization. Red Pill by Adam Ribbs, YouTube. Interesting but off topic. Adam's rib story, chromosomes. Yeah. Do you know what? Into the Void. If you have a link, then by all means share it. That would be great. You have been given a wrench. If anyone else wants one or requires one, wants to share anything, the only thing I do ask is that you do not let the power go to your head, as you now have the ability to block people. You know, let people have their say if that is okay. That rhymes. Yeah, big thanks to everyone who joined this evening. Into the Void. I tell you what, do you know what? I find myself saying this constantly. Oh, we'll have a quick look, you know, we'll look at that next week, and then not getting round to it. So, yeah, I don't really want to say that, but I will have a look at it in my own time. In fact, I've put it onto my phone now. Final proof of super civilization. See, I can say it now. I better get back. Yeah, I will be checking that one out. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Into the Void. Much appreciated. Is there anyone else wants to see it? Okay, have a good week. And thanks to everyone who's joined in this evening. And yeah, thanks for sharing all your thoughts and spending this bit of time watching. Take care, one and all. Alright, good night and over and out.